33 South Connector. There's a wreck on the right shoulder of that transition. In Philmar, heads up to roadwork, 210 westbound between Hubbard and the 5. Left lane is going to be closed until 6 a.m. So slow down and move over. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
5:06 on your wake-up call. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Jim Ryan, good morning to you. Last night when I started Googling, looking up just, some different articles for the topic you and I were going to talk about today, it was interesting. I put in former President Trump, and it was a mix, almost a 50-50 of Trump quits blog after just 29 days. So on one hand, I went, oh, is this footprint decreasing? Then, at the same time, I saw all these political candidates who were making sure that they had former President Trump's name attached to them as tightly as they could as they run for political office. So which is it?
Both. Yeah, neither and both. A lot of these candidates are running for cover from what Trump has left behind, fearing that there could be repercussions if people blame him for the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. Other candidates are clinging to him and hoping that some of his political supporters will come over to them, bringing with them votes and maybe some financial contributions. So that's really what's happening, Jen. I think that the decision to drop the From the Desk of Donald Trump blog doesn't mean much at all. He'll probably have some other outlet for his ideas going forward. He and his staff are working on that now. Trump, of course, still is banned from Twitter and from Facebook.
And I wondered, too, if, so some of the reports were, well, the blog just wasn't doing well, and all he'll say is, if that's the case, he'll just say, yeah, blogs are stupid, and he'll come up with something else.
Right. He was talking about building his own platform altogether, his own social media platform, and, he's finding areas out there where he can get his thoughts out, certainly not with the millions and millions, 70-some-odd million who followed him on Twitter before he was kicked off of there. Here in Texas, you have an interesting race going on right now. George P. Bush, the grandson of George H.W. Bush, the nephew of George W. Bush, he's currently the land commissioner here in Texas. He's running for attorney general and touting Donald Trump's presidency. He says he was the only Bush to support Donald Trump. I can imagine both George H.W. and Barbara Bush rolling over their graves because of the squabbles that they had with Trump. Firing back when Trump criticized Jeb Bush or when he criticized George W. Bush. So it'll be interesting. It's going to be an interesting Thanksgiving at the Bush household.
Oh, I'd love to be the fly on that wall. I'll bring them their turkey, whatever, just so I can listen in. Yeah. So the one thing, too, that I think that's interesting about George P. Bush is because even as of just, I don't know, maybe just a few weeks ago, we heard George W. Bush kind of ripping on former President Trump and the way that the former president may have shaped the, the society that we're in right now.
Right, yeah, talking about the violence, the extremism that George W. Bush seems to be pinning on Donald Trump. And, Trump, of course, has denied having anything to do with that. He called himself a uniter, not a divider, something that George W. Bush called himself during his campaign in 1999-2000, sort of, borrowing that term from him. So you're right. I mean, that's why I think that, whether George P. Bush consulted with his uncle or his father even, Jeb, or anybody else in the family isn't really clear. But Bush has a hard fight ahead of him here in Texas. The current Attorney General has some major legal problems facing him, and Bush is also hoping to capitalize on that. Ken Paxton has some issues he's got to resolve in court before he can think about another term as the Attorney General here.
All right, Jim, thanks for that. I appreciate it.
All right.
See you later. ABC's Jim Ryan. He's absolutely right there. So think that you are Jeb Bush. You are George P. Bush's father. And you think back at the hits that you took from Donald Trump when the two of you were running against each other for president. And your son is the one who goes out and says, I'm the only one. I'm the only Bush who supports you, Donald Trump. And Jim's totally right. Think about how that Thanksgiving dinner goes. Son, absolutely, you're right, and I am proud of you for standing up for yourself, and I'm proud of you for being your own man. But what the hell are you thinking? Pretty sure that's how it would have gone down in my house. All right, let's get back to some of the stories coming out of the KFI 24-hour newsroom. President Biden has spent nearly an hour in a meeting with top Republican negotiators. looking at infrastructure, although they apparently didn't come to any agreement. Biden's proposing to spend $1.7 trillion on roads, bridges, and other things, while the Republicans say it should be more like $928 billion. The deadline to make a deal is next Monday. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the U.S. wants to lead when it comes to helping vaccinate the world against COVID-19.
The president is going to announce in more detail the plan that he's put together to push out 80 million vaccines around the world.
Blinken is back in Washington from his trip to Costa Rica. Leaders of the military services reportedly are wary of making any changes to sexual assault policies. The Associated Press is reporting they've told Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin removing sex assault cases from the chain of command could lessen the number of prosecutions. They reportedly say giving control to independent judge advocates could also potentially mean less help for servicemen and women who are assaulted. The LAPD says a small child was left in a hot car for up to 45 minutes in North Hollywood, and officers have taken the mother into custody. Cops say the little girl is in good health after spending so long in the car yesterday. Now, I don't know if this is going to be one of those cases that turns out to be, oh my God, I forgot my child was in the back seat. But here's my PSA of the morning. And I'm not even going to judge because I am as scatterbrained as they come. But I do little fail-safes for myself. Like, hey, big dummy, since you tend to forget where you put your keys, I put them on a little stool right by the door every morning so I don't forget them. I put my backpack there. I put my socks there. So I'm pretty sure if I was a parent, I do this with the dog, just so I don't forget to feed the dogs every night. I put out a can and a spoon right next to the sink every night after I feed them so I don't forget the next day. Because my brain goes a little too fast for even me. So please, whatever it takes, throw your purse in the back seat, throw your cell phone in the back seat, whatever. Just please. The temperatures are heating up, and these stories, this unfortunately is probably going to be the first of many, as it is every year. And these are so freaking preventable. A new report claims Orange County is losing $374 million in tax revenue each year because of a child care crisis. First Five OC economist Wallace Walrod says $4.3 billion in lost productivity and wages is being drained from the economy every year.
So that's not only parents who maybe miss a day, but parents who miss part of a day. They maybe have to arrive late to work, or they have to leave early.
Walrod says the lack of child care is costing the county more than 67,000 jobs each year. The report found the child care crisis hits harder in Orange County because of the high cost of living, and it was only made worse by the pandemic. A man from Riverside charged with torturing a Chihuahua puppy in his apartment is due to plead guilty today. Angel Corrales posted a video online showing him brutalizing the 4-month-old puppy in February. Police later arrested Corrales. The puppy was taken to an animal shelter in Harupa Valley, but he couldn't be saved and was euthanized. A driver's been injured when he crashed his car at the end of a high-speed chase in Rosemead. The CHP says officers spotted the guy doing 125 miles an hour on the 10 in the early hours of the morning. They chased him. He crashed on Walnut Grove Avenue's off-ramp. Paramedics then took the guy to the hospital. Well, the state Senate has unanimously passed a bill this week to allow oceanfront property in Manhattan Beach be returned to a black family. The city used eminent domain to take the property from Willa and Charles Bruce almost 100 years ago. LA County supervisors say they will give the land back as soon as the bill is passed by the Assembly and is signed by the governor. Well, Disneyland has had the official opening of its new Avengers campus in Anaheim last night. Disney CEO Bob Chapek says the Marvel immersive experience will let guests team up with Spider-Man on the brand new Web Slingers ride.
Here you'll come face to face with Thor, Black Widow, and Black Panther. Sling webs with Spider-Man. Train with Adora Milaje.
I'm sorry, John. What was your reaction to this?
Just let me tell you, watching that live, I don't think I've ever seen a hype video as hype as that was when the fireworks went off, when the Avengers theme song went on. Oh my gosh, full body chills.
Okay, taking your love of Disney aside, was it in part because it's just something fun again, and it symbolizes normalcy, and it symbolizes, hey, we're getting back to a world where we can do hype videos, and we can open new things? Was that any part of it, or was it simply your love for Disney?
It was a little bit of both, and also just my love for the whole Marvel Universe type of superhero, nerd, all of that world, and just seeing, it was the Falcon, Captain America there. It was just something else. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Thank God for Disney.
Wow. John Ramirez. You know what? If this whole radio thing doesn't work out for you, I am going to write your resume to Disney and say, hey, I've got your best pitch guy. Like, you could have been the guy that opened the Avengers campus last night.
I could have. Problem is, Bob Iger stepped down, and,
Bob Chapek's there now, and what, you guys aren't BFFs yet?
Not BFFs, no.
Not yet.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure out a way.
All right.
Bob Iger, if you're listening, which we know you are.
Of course.
Keep remembering me.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk good news for investors yesterday. If you've continued to ride the Dogecoin roller coaster, Zoom thinks it's here to stay, and apparently so do its investors. And, all right, do we need this? We have Tesla cars, okay? And people either it's like the opera. You either love Tesla or you hate Tesla. But Tesla's banking on you liking it, or at least trying new Tesla restaurants. Oh, Elon. Your visions. Again, to be a fly on the wall of his brain. I don't know if I'd want to be there. Might feel a little Blender-ish. Robin Banks, what do you think? Hazard on the 134?
Elon dropped some metal debris on the 134 from one of his Tesla cars. Let's go to North Hollywood on the 134 eastbound, just after the 101 170. It is metal debris. Who knows? It could be a part of a car, it could be anything, but it's in the carpool lane, so watch your step there. Don't want to be the one with two flat tires on the roadway. Rosemead on the 10 West at Walnut Grove. That is a wreck that has the Walnut Road off-ramp blocked. Crews are on scene here. A little bit of slowing approaching that off-ramp, so just keep that in mind. Just cleared a crash on the 10 eastbound at Ukaipa Boulevard. That wreck cleared, and your drive is starting to get back up to speed. In Corona, 91 eastbound between Main Street and McKinley, 3 right lanes closed for roadwork. They will be so until 6 a.m., so please slow down and move over. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
This report is sponsored by the Center at Sierra Health Foundation. Even if you've been vaccinated, wear a mask in public indoor spaces, in crowded outdoor areas. Remember when you leave the house to mask up and make sure that your nose, mouth, and chin are completely covered. Learn more at covid19.ca.gov. Brought to you by the Center at Sierra Health Foundation.
This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings.
Coach K is retiring after this season. In 41 years, Mike Krzyzewski led Duke to 5 titles and is the winningest basketball coach in NCAA history. John Schuyler will replace him. The Clippers are on the brink of elimination after falling to the Mavs in Game 5. The home team has lost every game this series. And 3 teams are moving on to the NBA playoffs. The Jazz, 76ers, and Hawks all won in 5 games to advance to the conference semis. I'm Misty Jordan.
Download the DraftKings app and use code SPORTS to get a free shot at millions of dollars up for grabs this week with your first deposit.
Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
All right, you've probably been hearing all these great home loan rates being advertised, right? And you thought, they sound awesome, but I don't think I'd qualify. Or maybe you've been told, you know what, you don't qualify to get that low rate. But I bet you haven't called my friends at IntelliLoan, because right now IntelliLoan has a 1.99% rate in APR with no points or lender fees for SoCal residents, even if your credit score is as low as 620. A 1.99% rate in APR with no points and no lender fees. See, I told you, they're the place that you go, especially if you're somebody who thinks, I don't know if I'm going to get that low rate. Call IntelliLoan. Ask for Daryl, the owner of IntelliLoan. He and his team of home loan specialists want to make this home loan thing not suck. They don't want to make it complicated for you. They want to walk you through this process so it's great for them, it's great for you, win-win. So don't let a credit score hold you back. Lock in this 1.99% rate in APR with no points or lender fees before the rates go back up. Call 1-800-918-6200. That's 1-800-918-6200, or just go to intellalone.com.
Intellalone. Borrow smart. Rate subject to change without notice. Minimum loan amount requirements apply. 50% LTV and 745 score. Certain restrictions apply. Subject to credit approval. NMLS 3290. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California Finance Lenders Law license number 6036970. Equal housing lender.
Don't spend more than you have to on your mobile service. Spectrum Mobile could save you up to 40% versus what you're paying now. And nationwide 5G is included in every data plan. Plus, Spectrum delivers the fastest overall speeds and has the most reliable mobile service, coast to coast, with no hidden taxes, fees, or contracts. Visit SpectrumMobile.com today. 40% savings based on a comparison of single and comparable unlimited plans amongst major national carriers as of 1/27/2021. Fastest overall speed, most reliable, based on Nielsen speed test, latest SAC report, and route metrics.
If you're like me, you can't wait to travel, but a lot of destinations want a negative COVID-19 test. That's where COVID Clinic comes in. COVID Clinic has 1-hour COVID-19 PCR tests to travel to almost anywhere in the world. They'll even help with your travel documentation. Make your trip prep easy by doing your COVID-19 testing at one of the many fast and even drive-through COVID Clinic locations near you. So whether you need a COVID-19 PCR test for travel, school, or you just want an antigen test, go to covidclinic.org. Restrictions apply. Go to covidclinic.org.
Court Furniture Outlet's annual Memorial Day sale has been extended through Monday with incredible savings throughout all outlet locations. Court Furniture Outlet's prices are always super low because they lease their furniture for model homes, movies and television, and corporate offices. And when the furniture comes back, they sell it for pennies on the dollar. Now, during Court's extended Memorial Day sale, save on everything you need to brighten up your home or make your workplace more comfortable. New upholstery in several styles and colors, including sleeper sectionals with storage, only $4.99. Conference tables and mesh back office chairs from $49. And bookcases for $29. Plus, great deals on bedroom sets, mattresses, dining, and so much more. And all furniture is in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Come see why Court Furniture Outlet has been the secret destination for home stagers, designers, and savvy business professionals for over 40 years. Court Furniture Outlet with locations in Glendale on Central, in Corona at the 91 and McKinley, and now Fountain Valley at Euclid and the 405. Or go to courtfurnitureoutlet.com. That's CORT furnitureoutlet.com.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then try Babbel. Text Babbel to 64,000 and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just text Babbel to 64,000 and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel to 64,000. Babbel to 64,000.
Widespread racism against the Asian American and Pacific Islander community is a serious and devastating issue that is impacting the lives of millions every day. It's up to all of us to stand up, speak out, and put an end to this racism. Stop AAPI Hate is a national coalition that tracks incidents of hate and discrimination against the AAPI community across the United States. To report a hate incident or to learn more about what you can do to help, visit stopaapihate.org now.
I'm on some email list from a realtor, and he sent 60 properties in my area and what they're selling for. And the prices were eye-popping. Oh my God, when did this happen? I guess it happened in the last few months since the lockdown started to lift. John and Ken, weekdays at 2. I think that's what happened. It's the pent-up demand for people who want to move on KFI.
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
Oh, social distortion? Oh, come on.
No, it's not that. It's just,
Oh, come on.
that's sacrilege.
Oh, no, give me this one. Come on.
No, because it's Johnny Cash. No, you don't step on, hello. No, you don't step on John.
Oh, just give me this one. It's so good.
Find something else from him. How about that? After the break,
Oh my god.
for the bump going into the 35 segment, find something. Not Johnny.
You can't have one thing?
You can after this, but no, not that. No.
Oh, come on. Okay.
I will defend my Johnny all the way.
All right. As you were.
The LA County Coroner's Office has identified the LA County firefighter shot inside Station 81 as 44-year-old Tori Carlson. Officials say Carlin was a 21-year vet of the department, was a married father of 3 daughters. LA County Sheriff's investigators say Carlin was shot Tuesday morning by an off-duty firefighter also from Station 81. The motive for the attack is not clear. Moments after the shooting, the off-duty firefighter drove to his home, lit his house on fire, and fatally shot himself. And California's biggest state worker union has approved the donation of $1 million to help Governor Newsom fight the recall motion. It follows a union election in which Richard Brown beat longtime SEIU President Yvonne Walker. Brown says he doesn't support Newsom because of cuts to workers' pay Newsom brought in last year. 5:35, we'll talk with ABC's Tom Rivers. Did you hear about this? I don't know. Could this be one more nail in the Tokyo Olympics coffin? You've got about 10,000 of the 80,000 volunteers who signed up to help at the Tokyo Olympics who said, I'm out. They just quit. 10,000 of them. Now, you put that on top of the fact that it seems the majority of people in Japan are saying, no thank you, we don't want the games this summer. So now what? Or does that have any impact? Or does the government in Japan say, forget it? And the local officials in Tokyo say, we're going through with this. We'll find out when we talk with Tom in just a few minutes. But right now, when it decides to play...
It's time for Biz Bites. Bites of business. Biz Bites on Wake Up Call with Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Shares of Zoom went up 3% in after-hours trading this week as the company topped Wall Street estimates. Well, I think shouldn't that have been a no-brainer? With year-over-year first-quarter revenue growing, this is the part that I went, wait, what? 191% first-quarter revenue growth. Even if you don't follow business much, anything that goes up 191%, you and I both know, is huge. And Zoom added about 30,000 customers during the quarter for a total of almost 500,000 customers with more than 10 employees. In the first quarter, customers with more than 10 employees represented almost 63% of the revenue. So what this says to me is even small companies said, you know what, this whole Zoom thing, why wouldn't you, if you were a small business and you had a way to not operate in a place where you had to pay rent, you would eliminate the cost. So say it was, I don't know, say your rent space was, I'll be generous here and say it's $5,000 a month. So all of a sudden now, you can save $60,000 a year, and all you have to pay for is Zoom once a month, and you can still have the same productivity and get it with all of your employees. Say there's only 10 of you, and that's huge. Why wouldn't you switch to that? And I think that's what Zoom is banking on, and apparently Zoom shareholders as well. And it looks like they're saying, you know what, this whole hybrid learning or hybrid working experience may be the thing that pushes us forward. Heck, when I said learning, that was a mistake. But now that I think about it, there are some people who I've heard say, we're not sending our kids back to school. And they're looking for that hybrid option. So is that possibly the way we go? Maybe. AMC has a plan to, I guess you could say, reward its retail investors with free popcorn and exclusive screenings. So the platform provides these shareholders with exclusive promotions like free or discounted items. You get invites to special screenings. You get communications with the CEO. AMC's retail investors have propped up the company since January. We talked with Jane Wells yesterday, setting the stock up more than 1,400% in the last 5 months. So right now it's good to be AMC. It's good to be Zoom. And speaking of the theaters, there are some in LA getting COVID-19 cash to help the show go on.
LA City Councilman Mitch O'Farrell says the COVID-19 grant program in partnership with the Department of Cultural Affairs will help theaters in his district create online performances and experiences. The program will give up to $25,000 grants to theaters, troupes, and venues that have less than 50 paid workers. The money can be used to create online experiences such as community classes, play readings, and one-person shows. Theaters can apply for the grants through July 2nd. Deborah Mark, KFI News.
And finally, do we need this? Tesla's filed for a trademark to enter the restaurant business. So the application apparently features a drawing of Tesla's iconic T logo, which would be trademarked for use by the restaurants. And so here's the deal. Elon Musk had tweeted kind of a hint at this. He said, gonna put an old school drive-in roller skates and rock restaurant at one of the new Tesla supercharger locations in LA. When did he do that? Not recently. This was a tweet from clear back in January of 2018. And he said, in addition, that there could be an outdoor screen that plays a highlight reel of the best scenes in movie history and a touchscreen menu to order food from. So I feel like it's Sonic meets a drive-in theater. Now, back in 2018, an official application for a building permit was filed with the city of Santa Monica. I don't know where that stands now, but maybe is this where the first one's going to be? Maybe. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk with ABC's Tom Rivers about 10,000 of the Tokyo Olympic volunteers quitting. That leaves them with 70,000. I'm not saying that, they're understaffed necessarily, but when you have 10,000 people quit and a majority of people in the Tokyo area signing petitions that say, we don't want the games to go on here, do you push them through anyway? We'll find out when we talk with Tom. Right now, let's take a look at a wreck on the 605.
Little something in Santa Fe Springs, 605 south at the 5 freeway. It's a wreck with a car down the right shoulder embankment. They're in a ditch, so a little activity there on the right shoulder. Nothing in the main lines to slow you down. Sun Valley on the 5 south at Penrose, hearing there may be a brush fire here on the right shoulder, maybe some trees that are catching on fire. So an encampment most likely, and we'll keep an eye on that for you. In Long Beach on the 710 south end of Delamo Boulevard, contact car up against the center divider. Back turbine, 5 at Jamboree. Looks like everyone just made it to the right shoulder. Work zone in West Covina on the 10 from Grand to the 57th. Still going to find the 2 right lanes closed there until 6 a.m. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
I've let myself go a little bit. How much for a wax? Well, from about the earlobes down. Hello? Hello? And now the top 5 reasons to visit Morocco. Number 5.
Mom and Dad 2.0 giveaway. Get an HDTV wireless headphone kit when you earn 500 points on your rewards card, June 7th or 8th.
Number 4.
The Lazy River, Cabanas, and Sunset Bar are calling you. Get a day pass to the Oasis Pool today.
3.
Real Winners Giveaway. You can win up to $100 cash playing slots with your rewards card. Wednesdays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Number 2.
Celebrate Dad at Cielo. Reservations for Father's Day are going fast. Don't miss out.
And the number 1 reason.
Watching your team is more fun while getting your game on, too. Morocco's got big screens everywhere you eat, stay, and play.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good times.
Socal Weather from KFI. Mostly sunny again today. Highs are going to be from the mid-60s to the low 90s. Maybe a couple of degrees cooler tomorrow, couple of degrees cooler. Looks like by Saturday, and then by Sunday, we drop into the upper 70s and low 80s. So we're kind of going to stay that way through about Thursday, but then starting Friday and into next weekend, we'll see highs right back up near 90. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
There's no better feeling than getting a great deal, like a hotel room upgrade, or a free car wash with every tank of gas, maybe unlimited chips and salsa with your burrito. And now, as an AT&T wireless customer, you can get an exclusive deal on a super fast internet experience with AT&T Fiber. Get consistently fast speeds, even during peak times, and a great deal with AT&T Fiber. Learn more at att.com/fiber offer. Limited availability in select areas based on wired connection to gateway. Restrictions apply.
Are you still buying bottled water? I mean, I know that I said temperatures are going to be really hot again for next weekend. I want to help you from being sweaty and gross and going to the grocery store and having to lug those big old things of bottled water around. Just call LifeSource. Simplify your life. Get a LifeSource whole house water system. They put it in. You get to forget about it. No filters to change, no salt, no maintenance of any kind. And you don't have to lug around all those wasteful plastic water bottles. And with a LifeSource Whole House water system, you can have clean, delicious, filtered water coming out of every tap in your home. And with a LifeSource Whole House water system, you're going to reduce the odor and the taste of chlorine from your water and hydrate your body from the inside, and your skin and your hair are going to thank you as well, because we know how much we pay to get our hair colored every month, and wouldn't it be nice if you could make it last a little bit longer? With a LifeSource water system, you're buying directly from the factory. Their team's here to provide installation and customer service to support the lifespan of your system. And hey, if you're looking to join a growing team, LifeSource is hiring team members in your area. Call LifeSource today and get full service and full confidence in your water. Call them at 1-800-334-5009, 1-800-334-5009, or just visit lifesourcewater.com. LifeSource Water. Taste and feel the difference.
Real estate is one of the most tax-efficient investments and a great way to diversify your portfolio. But the hassles and costs of managing properties is about as much fun as having a root canal. Hi, Greg Hughes here with Hughes Private Capital, a real estate investment company. We pay our investors a set monthly income which is backed by the strength and safety of our portfolio of over 1,000 homes in the most stable real estate markets in the U.S. And the best part? You won't have any landlord frustrations or expenses. And talk about tax-efficient investment. Most of our investors don't pay taxes for the first 9 years of their investment with us. We also offer a 1031 exchange option where you can sell your investment property tax-free and become an investor with Hughes Private Capital. And with today's interest rates being so low, now's the best time to leverage your investment and earn a 17% return. To find out more, go to nolandlordproblems.com. That's nolandlordproblems.com. Or call us at 888-300-9393. That's 888-300-9393.
Even if you've been vaccinated, wear a mask in public indoor spaces, in crowded outdoor areas. Remember when you leave the house to mask up and make sure that your nose, mouth, and chin are completely covered. Learn more at covid19.ca.gov. Brought to you by the Center at Sierra Health Foundation.
American Vision Windows, SoCal's choice for energy-efficient windows and doors. AmericanVisionWindows.com.
KFI would like to thank the Radio and Television News Association for making KFI News the winningest news outlet in Southern California.
KFI AM 640.
More stimulating talk.
An iHeart radio station.
Thursday morning, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, and some of the stories we're watching in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. We're watching this brush fire in Riverside County. It's burned about 75 acres. It's just 5% contained. The fire started in Banning about 6:30 last night. CAL FIRE says it's burning in light to medium fuels. There are about 140 firefighters, that is, working to contain it. Coming up in just a few minutes, I want to talk about the drought. And I don't know if you've seen the stories, but I was shocked when I saw what our snowpack is right now. And I've got a story about what this lack of water is doing to farmers in the Central Valley. And of course, when they start pulling up crops, you and I get to pay more for things. So that's all coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, let's say good morning to ABC's Tom Rivers. So, Tom, are we getting closer to the final nail in the Tokyo Olympics coffin? Or are we going to see officials there saying, we don't care if people drop out. We don't care if public opinion says, no, we don't want the games here. We're going through it anyway.
It's looking like the latter. Money talks, Jennifer, as you well know. And, yeah, another nail in the coffin, potentially. They lined up about 80,000 volunteers. They're the greatest people on the planet. If you ever gone to the Olympics, they're the ones that, they get given a T-shirt normally, maybe some sneakers, a bag, and some luncheon vouchers, and maybe a pass on the subway system. And then they become the ambassadors. They tell you where to go. People from all over the world need some direction. They're fantastic. But 10,000 of the 80,000 said, nope, we don't like current situation with regard to the pandemic, and we're going to take a pass. So we're down to 70,000. I guess it's doable because, in theory, there's going to be zero foreign tourists coming into town anyways. But, yeah, another sign about the local discontent right now in Tokyo with regard to either, postponing or canceling these games entirely.
I'm curious about how the 10,000 came to be. Was it that they all were just dropping off, onesie-twosies, or was this a concerted effort?
Yeah, this was a phone poll conducted by NHK, public broadcaster in Japan, and they checked it out and they said, a lot of people are just saying they're not going to play ball. It kind of ties in. I think we talked last week about the most recent poll there, sentiments regarding average citizens, 83% there, against holding the games right here, right now in Tokyo, coming up in 50 short days.
Now, when it comes to then the athletes who are coming here, do you hear of any nation saying, you know what, we're not sending our athletes there? Look, more and more, even the people there don't want the thing. Maybe they cite, we don't know if the volunteers are going to be there. Like you said, though, obviously with no people in the stands, they have probably plenty of bodies to help the athletes themselves. But are there any nations who are saying, you know what, this is it. This for us is the cherry on the Sunday and we're out?
Yeah. Yeah, not yet. In fact, though, it's interesting to look at some of the numbers coming out. Looks like a large percentage, as you would expect, of athletes that have already been vaccinated. That's from countries with, swimming in vaccine, like the U.S. and the U.K., and countries that don't have any or very limited supplies. Looks like those athletes are going to be prepared when they get there. Those individuals who are going to be living very, very close to the Olympic Village, 75% of them have been vaccinated, which is very, very good. If you look at the national average in Japan, you're looking at about, 5.5% of people have had one shot, and about 3% of the population there have had two shots. So nationally, a very, very different story.
Okay, I'm so intrigued then. If the people who are the ones who live around where the Olympics are going to be held, if they're the ones who have the majority of the vaccine, did Japanese officials choose to focus on those people and push to get them vaccinated because the rest of the people don't want it?
I think so. Well, on the Suburban as far as the uptake goes, but I think those that were really in potentially harm's way with regard to meeting up with foreigners, they've been inoculated. So that's good. And in essence, we probably are looking at, we don't even know what the percentages of individuals allowed in various venues are going to be. Could be zero. Could be just television crews there filming stuff, and maybe a few cardboard people in the seats, and that's it. And it's going to be a TV event, made for TV. An Olympics you and I have never seen before.
Unbelievable. Tom, thank you for the update. Appreciate it.
Take care.
See ya. ABC's Tom Rivers. All right, that would be the weirdest thing. Cardboard cutouts in the stands of the Olympics. I almost hope they just don't do it at all. Just do the focus on the actual athletes doing their particular sports. As soon as the event is over, watch them walk over to their coach, the hug, they'll look up to see what their score is going to be. I don't... No, please. Please, no more cardboard cutouts. Please, I'm over it. All right, I've got some more sporting news. The NFL now says it will stop settling concussion lawsuits using a racially biased formula. The league was actually sued by two black former players who claimed white players had a better chance of winning concussion settlements because black players were to have assumed to have lower levels of cognitive function. The two black players had been refused payouts by the NFL under a $1 billion settlement for brain injuries, and they launched a civil lawsuit over so-called race norming. The lawsuit was dismissed in March, and a judge ordered the NFL to negotiate a settlement with the players. The league pledged yesterday to halt the use of race norming. The judge also called for a full report on the racial bias allegations, one of which the black players had called classic systemic racism. Well, tennis queen Naomi Osaka's decision to withdraw from the French Open over mental health concerns now has, as you've been hearing, some of the biggest names in sports weighing in. And Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps himself, who has been so open about his mental health struggles, told CNN that he was proud of the multi-Grand Slam champion. And in announcing her decision this week, the 23-year-old revealed she'd been battling depression since 2018. She explained she gets anxious before speaking to the media. That revelation came after she was fined $15,000 for not talking with reporters about the start of the French Open. I'm weighing in on this, only because I have I suffer from severe anxiety. Which is funny because you think, wait a minute, you literally talk to thousands, if not millions of people every day, right? I'm great in my little news closet. I'm happy as a clam in here.
You're having a poster.
But when I get asked to speak at places, I don't not like it, but I am telling you, it is a panic. I am in a panic for days leading up to it. I know, crazy, right?